Today on Drawbli.
Ben is drawing a frog.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we are drawing together because art is better with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And don't forget to check out our guidebook on daily drawing linked below. Abby, I could tell you were about to sing. You were singing right before I clicked record.
I'll do it at the end slate, when we do an end slate. I'll have to sing my song.
Okay, well, stick around for Abby's wonderful frog song.
Don't hype it up. I rhymed frog.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's the best frog song I've ever heard.
I rhymed frog with good job. So, I put a lot
the
of work
highest
into
of
it
quality.
over the last 10 seconds.
So I've been, trying to stray away from people a little lately to focus on some animals and practice some other techniques. I feel like it's good to switch things up, change your perspective.
Yeah, well, this is a great shift on that perspective. This is an excellent frog.
An excellent frog, yes. Thank you. I really enjoyed working on this. Although I did hit a point about halfway through on this where I almost gave up.
No.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, me.
Gave up?
Me.
Never.
Almost gave up.
Oh my
I was very
Lord.
close. I was, you'll see. I'll talk about it more when we get to it.
The only believable part about this is the almost, and then the didn't, because you didn't give up.
Abby, what do you think of my sketchy lines?
I think they're good. I think they're really good.
I don't know. You've said some nasty things about my lines
I
in
have
the past.
never, ever said anything remotely disparaging about your lines. What did I say?
You said that they're short and they don't have any flow or
And was
rhythm.
I wrong? Was I wrong?
You weren't wrong,
Yeah,
but
see? It's just tough love.
yeah, but it was such mean
And look,
feedback.
you've been improving. Your leaf still has some ways to go, but the frog is excellent. The frog is excellent.
He gets better.
Oh, does he? He's so good. His face is so great. I love a frog, though,
Love a frog.
Just love a frog.
I wish we had a pet frog.
I had pet frogs when I was young.
Did you really?
We had one of those terrariums that has like a fish tank in the bottom and shelves and little habitats for frogs up top.
What?
And so we kept little frogs and salamanders.
Wait, there were frogs on top of the aquarium?
Yeah, so the aquarium, picture an aquarium with like shelves in the back of it. And the bottom is kind of set up to like stream from one pool to another. And the fish could go back and forth somehow. I forget. I was a child, so I may be romanticizing it far more.
Huh.
But then
I can't picture it.
in the shelves, they would have little like pots in them, and you would put in like plants, and then the frogs and salamanders would live amongst the plants, and the little fish, would live down below, and it was really cool.
Abby, do you have trouble picturing things in your head?
No.
When you're drawing or painting?
No.
No, really?
Yes.
I feel like I do.
I have trouble relating that. Like, I would never be able to like just picture something in my head that's intricate and detailed and just draw it. I don't think people do that. I think it's a very rare person that does. And I think that's why
I think anybody who says they do that is a liar.
I mean, I can picture things in my head, but can I draw like from that? Like it's a photo reference? Of course not. Because it's kind of like
You're very distracted from what you have in front of you as well.
The frog?
I'm talking about when you're drawing or painting. You're really focused on what you're looking at, less so about what's in your head.
Right.
Like, the ability to project from your head onto the page would be a difficult task.
I could maybe project like very much basic things, like maybe a person standing in a pose. But like I wouldn't be able to project like drawing a hand or rendering light and shadow like as I see it in my mind, except for the very most basic senses of it, never the nuance.
So we're coming up to the part where I almost gave up on this frog, which is when I felt like it was getting muddy.
No,
it was getting very muddy, and this tree here, I could not figure out this tree texture for the life of me. At the bottom, like the bottom of the image. I'll show you what I do later on to solve that, and I feel like I now have a lot better idea of how I would do that in the future. But like I got to a point where I almost just like cropped that part of the image out.
Oh my gosh.
So he was looking really kind of like muddy. His proportions were also super wonky, so I played with that a lot. So I just had to like kind of push through on the muddiness as well as like start to push the contrast.
That's
Pushing the
the
contrast
hardest.
helped me a lot.
That's so hard to push through a moment where you feel like you don't even know where to start to get it to start to look good again. All you can do is trust yourself that you've done this before, and that if you keep going, it's not just gonna get more messy, although maybe that's happened to you in the past, but it can and will get better.
Well, it did get better.
And you had to have faith.
It doesn't
Believe
always.
in yourself.
I actually had a sketch I was working on this morning that I was like, you know what? I'm done with this one.
Mm-hmm.
This one sucks.
I'm working on a really cool sketch right now, inspired by my younger sister who works at a Valvoline.
So you thought when I said that I had this really crappy sketch that I was working on, you thought that would be a good time? You thought that would be a good time for you to say, oh, I have this amazing thing that I'm doing.
Well, it was more not like, oh, crappy sketch versus amazing sketch. It was sketching this morning. And I was like, there's common ground there.
Mhm.
Oh, thank God we're connecting again.
So you're drawing your sister?
No, it's just a woman in like a mechanic's jumpsuit.
Okay.
And, but I love how my sister just really wanted to, she's like 19. She wanted to work at Valvoline.
For some reason.
Yeah, I swear. I was like, she's romanticized it somehow. The image of like Star Wars and people in jumpsuits. She's like, I want to be in a jumpsuit. I don't know. I have this picture. Then you go to Valvoline and it's like the nerdiest jumpsuits ever. But no, she does a good job there, or did a good job there.
So you're working on a person in a jumpsuit.
Yeah, like a woman mechanic. I Googled female mechanic photography.
Sounds cool.
And I found a cool reference, and the sketch is going well.
Well, I can't wait to see it. It better be as amazing as you've talked it up to be.
I hope so.
It better be as amazing as your frog song that's coming up
I'm
here.
gonna have forgotten the entirety of the frog song.
There's
by the
no way.
By the time we get, you'll have to sing it for us because you'll remember it.
Well, it's
I'll
your
make up
song,
a new one.
so.
I'll make up a new one.
Okay, thank God. Oh, I also got to paint these water droplets on this leaf that I liked.
I love that. That looks really cool.
And I had never done anything like this before.
Did
but
you Google it or guess?
No, I just did it.
That's cool.
I just did it.
One time I followed a tutorial on drawing water droplets, and you've done a better job on these with that than I did with my tutorial.
I mean, it's essentially a sphere that's darker at the I mean, it wasn't that complicated.
You did a really good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I also did this cool rain in the background. Isn't
I
that
love
cool?
the rain.
Wow.
It's really coming down.
Oh,
no
man.
wonder he's hanging on to his little leaf umbrella so hard.
Yeah.
So cute.
I think I drew him a little too happy, though.
He's
The
a
original
frog.
frog isn't as happy as my frog.
I like that you drew him happy because a frog would, of course, want it to be raining. And he would be very happy to have a little leaf umbrella just to like stave off the biggest drops. But ultimately, he likes the damp weather. It's very good for his skin, keeps him young.
I showed you this frog maybe around this point, like somewhere around here. And I said, Abby, how can I improve my frog? And you said, this frog, not very good. You said, this
I
frog
did not.
is not wet enough. He said, this frog looks too dry. He's been sitting out in the sun baking.
He didn't have, what I said was, he didn't have enough points of reflection on him to indicate
So
that
that's
he's
why I
shiny.
went in with all this shiny. I was like, time
Yeah.
to shine this boy up.
Yeah.
Gotta make this frog look a little more slimy.
Yes. I love a slimy frog. A slimy frog is a healthy frog.
Is that true?
No, actually, most frogs you pick up on your day-to-day aren't that slimy.
When's the last time you picked up a frog on your day-to-day?
In my day-to-day, ooh, it's been a minute.
Been a hot minute.
Yeah, it's probably been a little while. I think I pick up a toad more often than a frog.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because you can find a toad just hopping in the woods pretty easily.
I guess I would know the difference. Toads are bigger, right?
Not necessarily. They're
No?
brown and bumpy.
Okay.
And they are usually a little fatter and squatter.
I think if I found that, I would probably still call it a frog, because it's pretty much the same
Wild
thing.
to me. Wild to me.
I think anything that I would find that looked relatively like a frog, I would say it's a frog.
I cannot believe that. I
mean, it's the truth. I think most people would do that.
You're so brave to admit this.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
To everybody.
Yeah, I know. Here on the internet, I mean, everybody. Anyway, here's how I fixed this log. I took the image and I just put it there.
What?
No.
No.
I did not.
I took
So-
the image and I just-
I took the image and I was like, I need to like figure out this pattern. So I went in with just a really hard brush and I just started like painting the texture on top of this log.
That is really
like creating
cool.
these zigzags to like try to figure it out a little more, and then I'd turn off my paint, and then I'd like look at the log more and figure it out and go back and forth. Yeah.
I love
Anyway.
this. I love the graphic too on his eye. It reminds
Thank
me
you.
of Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was actually some of the new technique that I wanted to mention, but we didn't have enough time for. So
you know me.
I'll have to maybe talk about it more in our next episode.
Well, if you want to talk about it more in our next episode,
click that like and subscribe button.
and comment below. And check out our guidebook, How to Easily Draw Every Day, at the link below in the description.
And this is the part where we say
Goodbye.
Goomba.
This frog is a marvelous frog, and you've done a good
I
job
knew you
on
would
your
remember.
frog.
I knew you would remember the song.
Ben.
One more, I'll give you a clean take.
This frog is a marvelous frog, and you've done a good job on your frog, Ben. Do it again. Good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great song.
Thanks.